Paul kicks off the pressure washing season on a large block-paved driveway, but nasty surprises are hidden out of sight. Disused furniture, old tyres and a dump of worrying containers, enough for Paul to draw a line. Along with dirt and moss, there's also a bad oil stain to deal with. The clean turns into mud bath mayhem, and while disposing of the sludge, Paul takes a tumble. Next up is a filthy Yorkstone patio, but a broken pull cord mechanism threatens the job, and work can't begin unless repairs can be made. Later, Paul finds that jet washing barely scratches the surface, and he's left hoping his chemical know-how can do what his equipment cannot.
My name's Paul Driver and I'm the owner of JetReady. We're known for exterior cleaning and restoration services across West and North Yorkshire. On this channel I like to film real jobs and show real results, and sometimes I also talk about the real ups and downs of running an exterior cleaning business here in the UK. Today I'm pressure washing a large block paved driveway together with some really dirty Indian sandstone paving. And the thing about jobs like this is that they always get a lot worse before they get better. No question about it, today is going to be mud bath mayhem. So let's just have a quick look around and see what we're up against. First, we've got this Indian sandstone pathway. Lots of leaves, very dirty, slippery and really quite dangerous. The pathway continues around the corner and it's completely overgrown. To add to the problem, there's quite a lot of mess and junk that's going to need moving out of the way. The paving continues around the back of the garage, and here we've got loads more junk. We've got old tyres, furniture, bin bags, and you won't believe what's going on around this corner. Nope, I'm drawing a line here. Not touching that. As for the driveway, it's a large area of about 180 square metres. And as we get round to the garage, right in front of the front door, we've got a huge oil stain. Wish me luck with that one, eh? And as we go around the side of the building, the block paving continues and it's been completely overtaken by moss and weeds and grime. Look at this lot. Blimey. There really is a lot to do. Better get started. Before I get stuck into moving the junk and cleaning that Indian sandstone, I'm going to make a start cleaning this oil stain. I expect it's going to take multiple applications of product to sort this out. That oil stain is pretty bad, so I'm going to use a fairly concentrated mixture. 1 part Synergy to 4 parts water. Right, that'll do for now.
With treatment of the oil stain underway, Paul now gets on with the jet washing work. It's going to be a long and messy day.
Well, this Indian sandstone's looking a lot cleaner now. Still a lot of black spot on there, that's black lichen, so I'm going to need to get some chemicals down to dissolve that away. Down the pathway we've also got big improvements, and this wall's come up remarkably well. But again down here, tons and tons of black lichen. Well, that's got all of the Indian sandstone foamed down. I'm just going to leave that to dwell on the surface now for several hours whilst I'm cleaning the driveway. Before I get started on the drive though, I'll just give this oil stain a third application. So I'm going to make a start here. I'll work with the turbo lance. That'll get all of the moss and all of the weeds out of these joints. Really give it a good deep clean. And this is where it'll start to get messy. It'll create an awful lot of sludge, a mixture of moss and weeds and sand and dirt. It'll just, and it's going to be quite difficult to prevent some of that going next door as well. So I'll have to keep popping over just to clean up as I'm working.
Even this small area has given up quite a lot of mess. and the cat is not impressed.
Like I said earlier on, these jobs make an awful lot of mess. But rather than sweeping all of this up and tipping it, I'm actually going to make use of it on the job itself.
On a sloping driveway, Paul knows that a good way to prevent the sludge ending up on the street is to use it to make a dam. It's a clever trick and it always makes the clean-up a lot easier.
Right, there we go. That should help a lot. Well, it's about 20 minutes to 4 now, and I've only got about a half hour's daylight left. So I haven't managed to get finished, but priority now is to get this area cleaned up, shovel up all of this sludge, get rid of it, and leave the place looking presentable. I'll carry on the job tomorrow afternoon. We've got a steep embankment that just drops away into a load of shrubbery behind me, so I'm going to tip all of the sludge down there.
Paul is not licensed for carrying other people's waste, so when practical he prefers to dispose of the mud and slop on site. It's good for the soil, and when hidden beneath shrubbery, it's usually out of sight. That said, this approach isn't without its risks.
Occupational hazard. Ten buckets.
With the light failing and the mud bath cleaned up, Paul calls it a day.
So back today just to get finished off. A couple of hours this afternoon should see this done. This part of the driveway has dried up quite well, and that gives us an opportunity to have a look at this oil stain. And actually it's cleaned up remarkably well. A little bit of residual staining left, so I'll get a bit of the Oil Clear Pro product on there, and hopefully that'll just pull the last of that oil out of the blocks. Elsewhere the Indian sandstone's cleaned up pretty well, but we've still got some tough black lichen spots. This is fairly normal, and there's quite a lot of that staining around here as well. So I'll get this treated first of all, then the chemicals can be doing the work whilst I'm pressure washing the driveway. So what I'm going to do now is put some deep clean foam over the entirety of the block paving, leave that to dwell for 20 minutes, half an hour or so, and that'll really lighten and brighten the colours. Before doing that, I'm going to rinse off where the oil stain is, and once I've done that, I've got a big rinse down job on the Indian sandstone paving on the other side of the wall there. I've just sent all of the mud over that way, knowing that I can then rinse all the mud down onto the shrubbery, so that'll be a good way of getting rid of it and also returning something back.
Paul's pressure washer is fitted with a chemical system. It allows him to apply different treatments to the surfaces he works on. In this case, it's a preparation that will sanitise the blocks and eat away those pesky black spots.
All finished. Back on a dry day to do the resanding.
Later in the week, Paul heads over to Bramhope near Leeds. He's really got his work cut out on this next job.
I'm working on a really dirty and grimy Yorkstone patio. This continues around the side of the house, and that continues around to this flat concrete area, which, believe it or not, doubles up as a skateboard park. Now, the thing about Yorkstone is that it can be really difficult to clean, and the reason for that is that it's very soft and porous, and it's notorious for getting terrible black lichen infestation. And without any doubt, I've really got my work cut out today. Now, I said that Yorkstone was really prone to black lichen infestation. Take a look at this, absolutely minging. There's a lot to do. Let's get started. Pull cord's broken. I should have said the mechanism is. Fortunately, I've always got a spare pull cord assembly on board, so it's just 3 bolts, take it up, put a new one on, and we're sorted, back in business. There we go. The way that my machine is set up, the space around the side is really quite limited. So I've just got a really small 1/4" ratchet, which allows me to get in there without being encumbered by using big tools. It's a bit of a squeeze all the same. Bit tight in here, like I said. One more to go. Yeah, that's the problem. That, whatever it is, come loose, dropped out the mechanism. Well, it's just completely broken there. Actually, this is an unbranded assembly that I bought on eBay. They're not very good quality, but it's always worth having a spare one on board for situations like this. This one I refurbished last time the pull cord went, so I'll just get this refitted now. It's genuine Honda. Hopefully shouldn't have any trouble with the mechanism on this one. I'll just pause a moment to talk about this patina effect or patina effect. This is where you've got a collection of biofilm, usually lichens, growing on stone surfaces. Now, an architect would say this is how it's meant to be. And certainly it's true that sometimes really attractive patina can develop. But here it's all a bit blotchy, it's not very attractive at all, and it's really spoiling the stone because this is good quality honed sandstone with lots of natural beauty in its own right. Now, I did talk to the customer about this when I came to do the original quote. We discussed this patina effect and whether it appealed to them or not, and they really didn't like it. So I'm cleaning it off properly, getting back down to the stone. So we've got the top layer of algae off this. Now, the patina has really permeated the stone, it's properly ingrained, and it may prove more difficult than I'd hoped to get rid of. Does look pretty tough though. We might have to make some kind of patina compromise on this job.
As you might expect, there's a lot of Yorkstone in Paul's part of the world. It's one of the most difficult surfaces to clean, although with the right approach, surprises can often be to the upside.
Well, I finished all the pressure washing now, and frankly, it still looks a bit of an eyesore. As I mentioned previously, Yorkstone is incredibly difficult to get clean, usually because of black lichen infestation, and because the stone is so soft and porous, those organisms can actually take up residence within the stone itself. Pressure washing doesn't shift it at all. But I'm not giving up on this just yet. Let's get the sodium hypochlorite down first of all and see where we go from there. Right, this chemical's been working for about 40 minutes. Let's get it rinsed down and see what we're looking at. Well, that's cleaned up quite considerably. I'm going to escalate it now. I'm going to put some neat product down with a bucket and a brush and just see if we can chase off these stains a little bit more. Well, it's starting to look pretty good. I'm just going to switch over to the turbo lamps now. We've got some artifacts of lichen stains that are just on the surface. They'll come off easily with the turbo. Well, all in all, that's come up really well. Let's just take a quick look around. These coping stones turn out to be a really beautiful honed sandstone and a lot more attractive than that malformed patina. Now, the Yorkstone, always a challenging job. This was fairly typical of how bad it can get, although I have seen worse. Almost impossible to get it completely clean. All the same, it's a great deal better than it was. This dark passage down the side of the building, looking a lot brighter and safer. And the skateboard part looking a lot cleaner too. In case you were wondering, skateboards? What's he on about? Well, the owner's got this two-part half-pipe ramp. Must be pretty cool when he's got it set up there. I bet it makes a lot of noise though. Must drive the neighbours mental. Well, all in all, that's been a really nice job to work on, and in a strange kind of way, oddly satisfying.
As the week draws to a close, a dry forecast gives Paul the chance to re-sand the big driveway in Keighley.
All finished. That was quite a big job actually, and it took 6 bags of sand at the end just to finish it off. But all in all, it's come up really well, and I know the homeowners are very pleased with it indeed.